Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/ChiroBusinessMojo. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Welcome to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast, where we deconstruct the methods, marketing, and mindset of successful business people and chiropractors from around the world. And now your host, Dr. Richard Day.
I am Dr. Richard Day, and this is the Chiro Business Mojo podcast. Thank you so much once again for spending a little bit of your day with me. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about some of the apps we use in our practice to help us, number one, be more efficient, and number two, do our job as a chiropractor a little bit better. So the first one that we like to use is TeamViewer, and this is where you can remotely, I want to say dial in because I'm old, but not dial in. You log in to computers remotely, and you can see everything on their desktop. You can use it just as if you were sitting right there at the computer. So this allows us to utilize our EHR software remotely. We can book appointments remotely. Sometimes we'll forward the phone from the Colorado office to Kansas City, and we'll answer it there and book appointments from here in Kansas City to the Colorado office. For all the patients calling in, they have no idea that we're, taking the calls elsewhere. Now, if you're in your office and you forward your phone, and this sometimes we do, especially if there's not a CA available, we can either have things go to voicemail, but it's nice to always be able to answer that phone when it rings. So we'll forward it to the phone, and right with the app, right on the phone, we can log on to our computer and we can look at the schedule and we can say, yes, Mr. or Mrs. Patient, we can get you in today at this time. It's a great tool to have. Another scenario would be if you don't get your notes done or you have a billing issue. My wife is able to log into both locations and do all of the billing, see what's going on with them, and then reconciliation of all the insurance reimbursement we get, all remotely by going in using this tool. It's free, which is the great part. And being that we're in the healthcare industry, I know you're concerned about HIPAA compliance. I am as well. And the good news is it is HIPAA certified and 100% HIPAA compliant. It's available for the regular PC desktops and Apple and Android devices. Another one I like is called Clinometer, and as you can imagine, it is an inclinometer. It's a great little tool. It's a $1.99 for the pro version. There is a free version. I recommend the paid version because what happens is you get it to the end of that range of motion and you tap it and it will freeze the setting right there, and then you can transcribe that into your notes or type it in. With the other one, you can't do that. So if there's any movement whatsoever as you're trying to look at what the number is, when someone's bending over, it can be awkward. So I recommend you get the paid version, but it's a great handy tool, and it is also available for Apple and Android devices. The next one that we use quite frequently is Google Docs, and this is great. I don't know if you are aware of it. Some people are, some people aren't. So I am telling everyone about it because I think it's great. But if you are a Google customer, and really what I mean by that is you have a Gmail account, what comes with that is 15 gigabytes of free storage, and then the ability to use Google Docs. And what those are their cloud versions of a lot of things that are very similar to Microsoft Office products that you're familiar with. So things like PowerPoint, Word, Excel. Those are all, there's similar versions of that are all in there that are compatible with those software. So if you have a Word doc, for example, you can upload it and edit it in Google Docs, and you can send it to someone else, and it will still be a Word doc file when it gets, electronically through email to the recipient, and they can open it up in their in their Word that they have, if that's what they're using on their computer. You can also save it as a Google Doc. You can convert Word docs into a Google Doc. It's really nice to have. It has other things that it does as well. You can download extensions for your Chrome browser, and those extensions will work in it as well. I keep wanting to call it software, but it's all in the cloud. And so one of the things that I downloaded was a diagram to set up to map out all the IT stuff in my office. So where the phones are connected, where the computers are connected, how the wiring is all set up so that if I'm not there on premises, any of our employees can look at it if something goes down and they need to go, see what was connected where. they have a nice diagram there. And I could have done this in a million different ways, but when I found a free extension I could download into Google Drive or Google Docs, that the two are connected, I thought, oh, this is cool. And it works great. I just drug, the little picture of a phone and a picture of a computer and clicked it twice, and little wire showed up between the two. So that's just another example. A neat thing that they've come out with just in the last few months is a speech recognition that's in there as well. So this works a lot like Dragon Naturally Speaking, the voice recognition software that will type out whatever it is that you are speaking onto your document. So this is great for people like me who maybe don't want to sit there and type it all out, but I think I can sit there and talk it out and have it type for me. You can also use it to, if you have a lot of notes to do for your EHR, you can just cut and paste it after you've dictated it in Google Docs. You can do that. Just cut and paste it into your notes. That's another way that I've used it as well. It's really handy. It's a great tool, and the best of all, it's free. And lastly, I guess what I really like about it is there is a collaborative feature in which you can share a document you have or you're working on with other members. So if you've got employees, or in my case, my wife and I work on a lot of things simultaneously, we like to be able to go in there and, like, let's say it's a to-do list, and she adds her things and I add my thing. We can be in the same document at the same time working on there. I can see a little cursor that's just a different color than mine, and these words look like they're magically appearing, but she's in there, she's working on stuff. So it's a great collaborative tool. You can have it between you and your staff, or doctor to doctor, or whatever. But again, free is good, and this is a free one, and it's so powerful. I find myself using it probably on a daily basis, I would say. Another one that is more in line with what we're doing as chiropractors is this one's called Spine Pro 3. Now, this one's only available on iPad and iPhone. Used to be $19.99. It's now $9.99, but well worth it. And what it is a 3D anatomical software or animation software, but it's not playing videos. It is, you're manipulating it in real time. You can peel back layers of muscle and skin and show what's going on from a three-dimensional standpoint inside someone's body. So we use physical models, and we have posters. This is one other dimension that you can use to educate your patients as to what's going on with them. It's great to have, and a powerful tool. Another one along the same lines is Posture Screen Mobile. This one's $39.99, and this is available on Apple and Android devices. And it's a tool that gives you just a quick, express way to do a postural check with a patient. So you're going to take a picture or a video of them, and then you're going to put dots on the joints. So the hip, let's say the knee and the ankle, and it will show you measurements of what's going on with the joints as they walk. And it's a good way to get the idea of someone's ambulatory gait. So, gait analysis is a very, very good tool to do gait analysis. It also does some body composition analysis through photography. So I think it uses an algorithm to do that. I've never used it for that purpose, but it is there for those folks that you are helping to decrease their BMI and lead a healthier life. It's a good way to show them before and after readings of their body composition. So that is not too pricey at all, but I think it's a great tool to be able to help patients. Dropbox. So this is a cloud storage. I talked a little bit about Google Drive. You get the free 15 gig with them. Dropbox, you're going to have to pay for. It's really well done. It's got a great, easy to use interface. We get 1 terabyte of storage for $100 a year, which is a pretty good deal. And we put all kinds of things on there, from our family photographs and videos and music to everything to do with the practices as well. And it like TeamViewer, it is also HIPAA certified compliant. The last thing I wanted to talk about is there are apps for this, and I was looking for an app to talk about. I don't use an app for it. I just use my phone timer. What that is the Pomodoro technique. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a technique where you work on a project for a certain amount of time, usually 25 minutes, and you don't do anything else other than concentrate. And then for 5 minutes, you take a break. You work another 25 minutes without doing anything else, no distractions. and you take another 5-minute break. And this is something I started doing when I was in chiropractic school. I heard a classmate say that they were using it to study, and it really worked for them. And because I'm like a lot of you, I get, ADHD. I have 50 things going on at once. I have to really force myself to focus and keep on task sometimes. And this is a great way to do it. So just use the timer on your phone. Every phone's got it. It's free. It's right there. If you want to, you can get an app for it. There are apps for both the Apple devices and and Google devices, the Android. And one of them was a subscription, which I found bizarre, for like $4 a month. I can't imagine paying that. I'm kind of against things that you have to pay repeat costs for, like subscriptions, unless you absolutely have to. Just go with the timer. But it's a great technique, and it really helps me stay on task and to be more productive. Well, that's it. There's 6 for you that I'm using, and I guess the bonus of the Pomodoro technique is another one. Hopefully these will help you out in practice to become more productive. That's what I like about them. Well, that's it. That's 6 of the apps that we're using in our office to help us be more productive and I think better chiropractors. If there's any that you use in your office that I've missed that you want to share, feel free to contact me at www.chirobusinessmojo.com and let me know what it is you're using. And on a future podcast, I'd be happy to talk about them, and would love to try them out myself. So that's everything I have for you today. Go out there and have a great day yourself. Hey, this is Dr. Day. I hope you are enjoying the show. If you are, please do us a favor and jump on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast at www.chirobusinessmojo.com.